Alright, what is going on, guys? Got a breakdown here for UFC 266. It'll be the first one. Coming off another very successful week. Since I've been back, I've hit all the fights I've done. Just had to knock wood. But yeah, I like to try to do my best reads. I don't necessarily just do the whole card. So yeah, try to keep it high percentage. But got a little greedy with props. But yeah, doing very good. So I like this card for betting also. So first fight, Omar Morales against Jonathan Pearce, JSP. Featherweight fight. Morales is going to have a 3-inch reach advantage, despite being a couple inches taller or shorter. And I will start with Jonathan Pearce. So, coming off a solid win over Kai Kamaka, I believe the UFC just cut Kai Kamaka, which I think kind of sucks. There was definitely some holes in his game, but he was in pretty much all entertaining scraps. I think he won fight of the night twice, and yeah, just a weird cut. I still think he's a good fighter, so I think that is a solid win. And then he get ground and pounded by Joe Lozon. I believe that one was in Boston, so never really stood a chance. And he spent some time with Bellator, won both of his Bellator fights, beat Jacob Rosales on the Contender Series. Pretty high paced fight. And yeah, I would say JSP kind of well rounded. He uses his long limbs pretty well, get underhooks. He will mix things up. He'll fake takedowns to set up his offense on the feet. Striking wise, he goes to some flashy shit sometimes. Like he tries flying knees, and I feel like whenever you can start like writing the book on a guy about doing that, it kind of starts to negate it. The worst example of that is Charles Jourdain. Like that guy just throws flying knees. He just spams them like it's a video game, and I think people know about it. I don't think JSP is quite there, but he does go to it a lot. Um, he he can take a punch, but he does get countered quite a bit, and I think that's concerning for this fight because I think Morales has good boxing. We'll get into that in a second, but yeah, JSP. I don't really know what leaps off the page about him. If I'm being honest, not trying to trash him. It's just he's he does a lot of things well, and there's also some holes. It's just in terms of like what to expect out of him in terms of a game plan. I don't know. I will say that he has been content to accept being moved backwards, like kind of fight off his back foot, and I don't know if that's smart for this one because Omar Morales, um, I think he's pretty underrated. I thought that for a little bit. And the thing with him is he's 35, got into MMA late. Um, his first fight was in 2014, but he got to this high level late. And he just looks like a guy where if he came into the UFC when he was like 26, he could have been a huge problem. I still think he's solid because you look at this record, knocks out Harvey Park on the Contender Series, gets a unanimous decision win over Jung Hyun Ma, and then he wins a solid decision against Mowgli Benitez, who kind of mixed bag in the UFC, Benitez, but he's fought a lot of high level competition and he's fought them to tough fights. He hits very hard. Everybody talks about that. He's got one of the better kicking games in the division, maybe across the whole roster. One of the more underrated ones, at least. Let's say that. And Morales did a very good job in that one. I think if you want to get a good idea for like the things I like the best about Morales, especially in this matchup, it's a good fight because he was getting hit with some combinations, but he was not letting anybody but himself have the center of the octagon. He was just backing him up the whole time, and he kind of weathered the storm in the first round. I thought the first round you maybe could have given it to Benitez, but he did a really good job checking the kicks, defending the kicks, and also returning with his own kicks. He's got really good body kicks, really good leg kicks, and I think what put him apart in that fight was just the boxing combinations. It got to the point where he was really reading Benitez, and he was tagging him. And I've seen Pearce get tagged on combinations in pretty much all of his fights that I've watched from him. So when you got a guy who has good combinations against a guy who gets countered, it's not good. Like I think Morales is going to be able to get in a striking rhythm against JSP, and I think those body kicks are going to add up. And the only thing is, Morales lost to Giga Chikadze. I picked Giga in that one. I don't know if people remember, but Morales was a favorite, so it just shows you that the hype is still pretty high on Morales. People think highly of him enough to the point where they expected him to beat Omar Morales just a year ago. I mean, Giga Chikadze. So yeah, I still like Morales a lot. And if you look at the line here, starting to trend a little bit in the direction of Morales. It was like minus 128 last week. I was gonna do the video, but I'm still trying to get into that groove of maybe getting like a week or two ahead. But what I would recommend doing, this is just something I've found I have a ton of success with, is always just look a couple weeks down and see if you can identify a fight or two where the money line looks really good, something that you would bet straight. There's usually one or two, and a lot of times you're gonna be right. And that's what I thought about this one. I look and I'm like, oh wow, Omar Morales minus 122 in that spot. That's solid. And I went to go look at it today, and it's like here we are at minus 150, still good. I'm gonna put 2 units on it, but yeah, if you get in early and you like something, you can get some good opportunities. And just real quick, over on Tapology, big time in favor of Morales out of 527 votes, 88%. So kind of a mismatch with the line. Um, obviously Tapology is not always right, but I think sometimes you can learn a thing or two. I think when it's like a 9-1 margin in one guy's favor, I think that bodes pretty well. So yeah, I think this line is a gift. Let's be real. I think it's a gift. I like Omar Morales a lot in this fight. So thanks for watching, guys. Sure, subscribe and take it easy.